Hey fanboys and fangirls, it's the other host here today with our first ever movie review. We're going to be talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Came out last week on the 4th. First things first, spoiler alert. So if you have not seen the movie yet, please push pause, come back later after you have seen the movie, because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Alright, let's get into it. First things first, my theater, I went to a Regal Cinema here in North Carolina. Had some theater issues with my showing. They had a little trailer of Megan Fox and Will Arnett, or a little trailer, promotion where, hey, you're one of the first to come see the movie, make sure to stop by the box office to get a free mask. They played that 3 times back to back, over and over again, and screen went black, played it again, black, played it again. So it took maybe a good 10-15 minutes before the actual movie started, because we had to hear that promo 15 times. That's my problem with my theater, but let me know if you had any problems or issues with your theater. Like I said, huge spoiler alert. Again, come back later after you've seen it. Alright, I'm going to get into the overview of this movie first. If you remember from the last movie, the Turtles defeated Shredder. He was apprehended. So it picks up this one. The Shredder is getting transported to a new prison. Just so happens Casey Jones is the lead police officer in charge of his transportation. It also happens that Rocksteady and Bebop are also in the same transport as the Shredder. So as you can imagine, the Foot Clan breaks him out of this transport, a daring, escape, if you will. And Krang also played a part in that, because there's this whole teleportation device that is needed in order to bring Krang to Earth and the Techno ship back to Earth. The big overall, there's 3 pieces on Earth that the Shredder needs to collect in order to complete the transportation device that'll bring Krang over to Earth. Now, the events of the last movie, since the Turtles don't want to come out of the shadows yet, hence the name, they give Will Arnett's character all the credit for the events in the first one, which I thought was a smooth move. So Will Arnett's character is kind of a big deal, celebrity, if you will, and takes all the credit for what the Turtles did in the last film. Now, I forget the doctor's name, played by Tyler Perry, but he is Shredder when he gets transported to Krang the first time, or teleported to Krang the first time, is Shredder's given this ooze, kind of like in the first movie, the ooze that turned into the Turtles into what they are. But in this one, the ooze turns Rocksteady and Bebop into the Rhino and Warthog. The whole concept behind that is there's a animalistic gene in every human, so the ooze taps into that gene, and hence we get Rocksteady and Bebop, Rhino, Warthog. It just so happens to have the reverse effect on the Turtles. So when the Turtles get a hold of it, Donnie's experimenting with it, and he puts a little drop on his hand, and he starts to get fingers and five fingers. So that also leads to some inner turmoil, can't talk today, between the brothers, where Leo and Donnie, or Donnie tells Leo, hey, we'll turn this into humans, and Leo tells Donnie to keep it hush hush. Mikey just so happens to hear that, so there's turmoil with that, and should they use the ooze to become humans, or should they just stay who they are? So there's that. That's pretty much it. The overview is they have to find these 3 pieces to get a teleportation device, to bring Krang over, or to planet Earth to take over. So Krang and Shredder team up, and that's the overview. Pretty much, it's in a nutshell. That's what it is. Now I got my likes. It was well written, super well written. All the jokes were there. Mikey, Leo, Donnie, and Raph, all well written characters. Good character development with Leo being stepping more into the role of the leader of the group, and his whole, I don't want to make a bad decision that gets my brothers hurt. So he's fighting that feeling. He doesn't want to let his brothers down. You got your, Donnie being a techie, Raph being the badass, Leo being the leader and Mikey being the comic relief. And he was the comic relief. So many good jokes. The pizza jokes, the soda jokes, the fart jokes, all there. I love that. That's Turtles to me. If you don't like it, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Rocksteady and Bebop introduced into this one, and they did a fantastic job. Sheamus, the wrestler for WWE, played Rocksteady. Bebop was played by, I forget the guy's name, but they both did a really good job playing those characters, I thought. And their jokes also were there with the fart jokes, the jokes between the two, and it was well written between those two. Casey Jones reintroduced into the cinematic universe, played by Stephen Amell, which I liked his portrayal of Casey Jones. A lot of people aren't, and I think I will get to why they don't like it. In my dislikes. First things first, we'll go Casey Jones. He was only in his costume, say, 5 to 10 minute fight scene where Megan Fox is snooping around and she's running from the foot, and she finally gets caught by them. He comes to her rescue, and it's a short fight where he's got the full mask and the hockey stick. It's a short fight. Shredder was only in his costume for the same amount of time. It was a short time he was in his costume, full costume anyway. He was wearing like a little ninja jumpsuit, and his gauntlets were actually, they had blades that come out, which I thought it was okay. It was half his suit. He didn't have his helmet, which I was a little bummed about. Didn't turn out until the last fights or confrontation with Krang, or Shredder's in full armor, and he talks. And then more about the Shredder is the end fight scene. Krang is talking to him, and he betrays the Shredder, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna rule Earth by myself." And what he does to Shredder is I thought was kind of weird. He freezes him and puts him into like a collection of who knows. Like, I was trying to look in the background, but I couldn't tell. But he basically freezes him and leaves him on his ship there. Don't know why. I really didn't like that. I was hoping to see more of a fight with Shredder and the Turtles, but really the fight was between Turtles and Krang, which I thought was great. It was a good fight scene. Leonardo was voiced by Johnny Knoxville in the first one. If you didn't know that, he was. In this one, I don't know who voiced him, but what they did is they did motion capture. The guys who did the mocap for the Turtles also voiced them in the first one, except for Leo. Leo was the only one voiced by someone else. So I guess in this one, I'm thinking it's the guy who did the mocap also voiced him in this one. In the movies, it was the scientist laboratory was called TGRI. In this one, it was TCR or TCRI. It was completely different, which I didn't like that. Just TGRI. That's what it is. I don't understand why they changed that. But overall, go see it. I loved it. The turtle jokes were there. Mikey, Leo, Raph, Donnie. Love all those characters. They're very near to my heart. I grew up watching the cartoon. I grew up collecting the toys and playing with them. And definitely go take your kids to see this. There's language. There was a little bit of language in it, but it's nothing too hardcore that you should be upset about. So that's going to end my review. Please leave comments in the section below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll get back to you guys with more content later on.